Good afternoon, folks. This is the Mastermind Millennial channel. My name is EJ, and today I want to discuss or talk about what it means to be a veteran. I was a veteran in the United States Army I was a service member, a soldier in the Army for 12 years. Yes, I know my head is small and tight. It's because I bought the wrong size and my head is big. But I digress. So real quickly, the number one reason why I joined the Army and chose to serve is because of my father. My father migrated from Panama, got his citizenship, and he made it all the way to the rank of senior enlisted soldier. And so seeing my father in uniform from time to time, waking up to a very rigid and regimented way of life, it worked for me as a child. It was great. You knew it was going to happen all the time. The man wasn't changing. He was a hard worker, And I always looked up to my dad. Maybe I didn't tell him enough. And he's still around. I guess I got time to tell him. If he watches this, he'll know. Hey, Dad, I look up to you a lot. But my father's the reason why I joined. Because I saw how it crafted and molded him into the man he is today. Now, don't get me wrong. My dad grew up with a lot of morals. He's a strong Christian. And he had a lot. But I believe the Army helped also. And it was a quid pro quo. Let's not get it twisted. Because as soldiers, you put a lot of time and they require a lot. And so I do think it's a mutual relationship at the time. The other reason why I stayed in the Army is because I fell in love with being in the Army. Well, I fell in love with doing my service, Sometimes I wasn't the best soldier. Sometimes I was a good soldier. Towards the end, I kind of had a rotten attitude because the bureaucracy I didn't like. The Obama administration had a lot to do with it. His fundamental transformation really rubbed me the wrong way, but that's another discussion for another day. But what does it mean to be a service member, a soldier, to be a veteran? I'm proud of my service. I'm proud of all my brothers and sisters in arms, every branch. What it means to be a veteran, what it means to be a service member of the United States of America is, in essence, from my view, my experience, to give your life, not your life, I take that back, to give your body and your time in defense and support of your nation, to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. That's an oath we all take. And at the time, I didn't really understand it. But as I went on in my career, there were times where I really felt like I was doing some good for my country. I think giving service, providing good, humble service goes a long way. It builds character and it makes you strong. And if you ever want to be a leader of something, you have to learn to serve someone else or something else. And so I was part of a huge fraternity with a lot of bells and whistles and a lot of good things. Don't get me wrong, the financial part of it was worth it. As a young soldier, as a junior enlisted soldier, you don't make a lot of money. So it's good that you're on active duty, you're in the barracks, and almost everything is taken care of for you, okay? I was a reservist, I was a citizen soldier. So after basic and AIT, I went back to my civilian life. And that was good too, because it helps you balance being a soldier and being out there. So I was able to maintain my professional development and, had to take care of family and house and home and things of that nature, Let me get to the point. What it means is that you give your body and your time in defense and support of your nation. I deployed only one time in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom, and I learned a lot. Was afraid a few times, I'm not going to lie, but I wasn't kicking down doors. I was no infantry person. I wasn't in the I wasn't armor or anything like that. I was an analyst behind a computer most of the time. So we did get mortared a lot, but I don't want to confuse my level of service with the level of service of women and men who kick down doors for a living. Women and men who hunted down high-value targets. I think those are the real heroes. And there's a lot of unsung heroes that we don't know about. So I just wanted to share what it means to be a veteran. I don't need the accolades. I know what I did. I'm proud of what I did. I made a lot of friends. I learned a lot. I experienced a lot. And I recommend it for any young person who wants to go into the military. There's two things you should do. Understand that it takes hard work to be good at your job. And two, if it is not a career for you, don't drag it out. You know, if I'm not mistaken, the Army does things in 4-year contracts. I think 8 years is a basic contract. I could be wrong. I'm getting old. If after 4 years you want to pop smoke and go do something else, by all means do it. The Army has a good way of giving you a standard of living, values and morals. If you don't have any, they'll give you some. They got Army values, you know. We all remember the acronym leadership. Good stuff, right? I still remember the Soldier's Creed and all that wonderful stuff. Maybe I didn't go into detail about what it means to be a veteran. You know, what it means is to, for a moment in time, you are considered government property. You maintain yourself, your morals, your body, so that when your nation calls on you, you are fit to fight. You are prepared to do what they call, what they ask you to do. Gosh, I don't know if I'm leaving out a lot. I just wanted to share. My service meant a lot to me. And even though the Army and I didn't end on good terms, I don't really have a regret. You know, I learned a lot. I experienced a whole bunch. I would say though, my experience, and maybe this is not everyone's experiences, I did discover that as a service member, you are an American citizen. But often you might not always be able to exercise your rights as an American citizen, you know. PAO and the S1, you know, there are certain limits to things you could say, could not say. You couldn't protest. As a service member in uniform, there's a lot of things you cannot do. Even though you're considered a citizen soldier, guess what? You can't always exercise those rights as someone who's not in uniform. And they say, oh, when you're not in uniform, you can do X, Y, and Z. But, you know, I don't know how fair that is. But I'm not here to judge. I'm only here to share. I just want to say that I think service to your country is a good thing. It shouldn't be shunned. It shouldn't be degraded. And it shouldn't really be glorified. People who raise their hand and swear the oath, they're making a promise, and they should make good on that promise. I say all that to say, you know, I'm proud of every soldier, Marine, Coast Guard person, every seaman, seawoman, what else? All you branches, keep up the good work. Don't let the craziness in politics, you know, discourage you. All you young soldiers, hey, just be the best and you'll go up in the ranks, you know. Nobody goes into the military to get rich. They don't do it. Some people go for the financial benefit, but folks don't go in the Army to get rich. They might go to learn something, to maybe get a hand up or a leg up. But I've learned that it was not all about the money. It could not have been all about the money. At times I'm like, I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing this because I love my country. I love America. It's the only culture I know. I read about other cultures, but this is the culture I live and breathe in. So I just want to share that with you. I love all my veterans. Fight the good fight. Till next time, this is the Mastermind Millennial signing off.